The 1952D Lincoln Wheat Penny, minted in Denver and identified by the small d mint mark just below the date, might appear to be a common 1-cent coin at first glance, but within the numismatic world it holds a much deeper and more intriguing value, especially when found in exceptional condition or with rare mint errors, where it can fetch up to $9,000 at auction. As part of the iconic Wheat Ear Reverse series, which ran from 1909 to 1958, this coin represents an important era of American coinage, designed by Victor David Brenner. The obverse features the right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, with the words "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1952 to the right, just above the D mint mark for Denver. The reverse showcases two stylized wheat ears curving along the sides, enclosing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum arching above. This simple yet powerful design reflects the nation's agricultural heritage and resilience, and over the decades has become a beloved symbol among collectors of classic U.S. coins. With a mintage of over 746 million coins from the Denver Mint, most 1952D pennies were struck for circulation and used heavily in commerce, making them extremely common in low to mid-grades. However, examples that remain in flawless uncirculated condition, particularly those with rich red luster and sharp details, are exceedingly rare, and it is these high-grade pieces, especially those graded MS67 red or higher by PCGs or NGC, that command thousands of dollars on the open market. What makes the 1952D Wheat Penny truly exceptional in value is its potential for rarity when graded at the highest levels. Most surviving examples from circulation show significant wear, fading of the wheat ears, soft facial features, and loss of original mint luster. Coins that display full original red color road and minimal contact marks are scarce, and only a very small fraction have been certified in MS67RD by reputable grading services. This level of preservation is typically only found in coins that were carefully stored in original bankrolls, mint sets, or kept untouched by collectors since the day they were issued. In fact, PCGS and NGC population reports confirm that fewer than a dozen examples in MS67RD exist, making them the true elite of this coin's population. With that rarity comes intense competition from registry set collectors who build year-by-year collections in the highest possible grades. Because the 1952D is relatively common in lower mint states like MS63 or MS64, its value there is modest, perhaps a few dollars. But jumping to MS67RD, where visual perfection and sharp detail meet, the value can rise dramatically, with auction prices ranging from $5,000 to $9,000, depending on the coin's appeal and the demand at the time. Another crucial factor that can elevate the 1952D penny's value into the thousands is the presence of rare minting errors or die varieties. While Denver Mint was known for strong, consistent strikes in the 1950s, errors still occurred, and some of these are extremely desirable today. Notable varieties include repunched mint marks, RPMs, where the D mint mark was stamped more than once and shifted slightly, creating a visible doubling effect under magnification. There are also examples of doubled die obverse DDO coins, where the lettering or date shows evidence of doubling due to a misalignment in the die hubbing process. These varieties are rare and require authentication by experts, but when combined with a high mint state grade, they can push a coin's value into the $6,000 to $9,000 range or higher. Even coins with minor anomalies like off-center strikes, die cracks, or planchet flaw scan attract premium offers when submitted to grading companies and labeled as mint error. Collectors who specialize in error coins often pay top dollar for well-documented mistakes, especially on already rare issues like a high-grade 1952D penny. In terms of historical context, the 1952D wheat penny was produced during a pivotal time in American history. The early 1950s marked the post-World War II recovery and the early stages of the Cold War, when America was solidifying its global leadership role while simultaneously investing in infrastructure, manufacturing, and domestic development. Coins from this era, though mass-produced, reflect the pride and ambition of a booming nation. Lincoln's enduring portrait on the penny served not only as a tribute to his legacy but also as a unifying symbol for a country navigating modern challenges, while honoring its Civil War past. Collectors are drawn to wheat pennies from the 1950s because they're relatively easy to find in circulated condition, yet still offer amazing discoveries for those who dig deeper, especially with mint mark varieties, full red luster, and proof-like finishes. The Denver Mint's 1952 output is a shining example of precision and durability, but only a small number of coins retained their perfect strike over 70 years. That's what makes the high-value market for this date so extraordinary, because it combines historical charm with extreme scarcity at the top levels. Today, collectors of Lincoln wheat cents form one of the largest communities in American numismatics, and building a complete set from 1909 to 1958 is a favorite challenge for enthusiasts of all ages. While the 1952D is not considered a key date in terms of scarcity in general circulation, It is considered a conditional rarity, meaning it is hard to find in high grades with full red color. That's why it's often one of the most expensive coins to obtain when completing a top-level registry set. Coins that have been certified and encapsulated by PCGS or NGC tend to sell for higher values, especially when accompanied by special designations like Red Road, Mint State 67, or CAC approval, which indicates strong quality. For the grade, market demand for top-end Lincoln wheat pennies continues to grow as more collectors enter the field, and there are fewer and fewer untouched coins left from rolls and collections that haven't already been submitted and graded. As such, the price ceiling for a 1952D in MS67RD condition is steadily rising, with potential sales pushing past $9,000 in future auctions, especially for coins with stunning eye appeal, original luster, and clear strike quality. Even for those without massive budgets, the 1952D penny offers great value. Uncirculated examples in MS6 for MS65RD can still be found for $20 to $75, making them ideal for beginner collectors building up to the rare grades. Some collectors enjoy cherry-picking ungraded rolls of wheat pennies from dealers or estate sales, hunting for that elusive perfect example that might grade out high and generate a massive return. It's the combination of accessibility and high-end rarity that makes the Lincoln Wheat series so enduring. But among the common dates, the 1952D stands out for its elite status at the highest end of the grading scale. Coins that exhibit full cartwheel luster, blazing red surfaces, and no distracting contact marks are the ones that excite auction houses and investors alike. Add to that the possibility of error coins or special varieties, and this humble penny transforms into a $9,000 gem of American coinage. In conclusion, the 1952D Lincoln Wheat penny is a remarkable coin that bridges the gap between common circulation and numismatic excellence. While hundreds of millions were struck, only a microscopic percentage survived in pristine condition. These are the coins that command thousands, with a combination of original red luster, exceptional strike, and sometimes even rare errors. The top examples from this year stand out in auctions and private sales alike. For those lucky enough to discover or acquire one in MS67RD condition or higher, the coin could be worth up to $9,000 or more, depending on market demand and collector competition. It's a shining example of how something as small as a once coin can carry massive historical, artistic, and financial significance when preserved through time. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, the 1952D penny reminds us that true value lies in the details and that even the most unassuming coins can become treasured rarities in the right hands. Next up, the 1970 No Mint Mark Washington Quarter, minted in Philadelphia, is one of those unassuming coins that millions of Americans have handled without a second thought, yet it carries a stunning secret. While most people think of this quarter as just ordinary change, collectors know that under the right circumstances, particularly in cases involving ultra-rare errors or high mint-state grading levels, a single 1970 quarter can be worth up to $39,000 or more, making it one of the most surprising modern coin rarities of the 20th century. Introduced in 1932 and continuing through the present day, the Washington Quarter features an obverse design by John Flanagan depicting George Washington facing left, surrounded by the inscriptions "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date in this case, 1970. The reverse features a stylized American eagle, wings spread, perched atop a bundle of arrows with olive branches below, symbolizing a balance of peace and strength. The no mint mark version of the 1970 quarter refers to those struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which, at that time, did not place a mint mark on its coins. While the Philadelphia Mint struck over 136 million of these quarters in 1970, making them relatively common in circulation, the true value lies in the exceptionally rare conditions, unique minting errors, or wrong planchette strikes that push their worth far beyond expectations. Among the most famous examples that propelled the 1970 quarter into legendary status is the 1970S proof quarter struck on a 1941 Canadian silver quarter planchette, one of the most stunning and mysterious mint errors ever discovered. Although technically struck in San Francisco and not part of the no mint mark batch, this highly publicized coin showcased how planchette mix-ups during the minting process could result in incredible numismatic oddities. That particular coin, authenticated and graded by NGC as PF65, sold for an astounding $35,000, and later resales reached up to $39,000, depending on market momentum. What made it so valuable was not only the unique error a U.S. design struck on a foreign silver coin, but the intense curiosity and rarity surrounding such a mistake. Although this was a proof coin, the event raised awareness about the 1970 quarter in general, especially encouraging collectors to scrutinize even the Philadelphia minted circulation strikes for any off-metal errors, doubled dies, or planchette anomalies that might turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. For the 1970 no mint mark quarter specifically, value skyrockets in high mint state grades, particularly MS-67 and above, because the U.S. Mint produced millions of these coins for commerce. Most examples were not handled with care. They were struck in bulk, loaded into bags, and entered circulation quickly, making pristine examples extraordinarily rare. Even quarters pulled from bankrolls or mint sets usually show contact marks, nicks, or lackluster surfaces due to rough handling. As a result, coins graded MS-67 or better by PCGS or NGC are considered conditioned rarities. These are coins that exhibit full luster, crisp strike definition, and nearly flawless surfaces. According to PCGS population reports, only a handful of 1970 quarters have been graded MS-67 or higher, and even fewer carry the CAC Certified Acceptance Corporation sticker for exceptional quality. These top-tier examples are extremely desirable for registry set collectors who seek the finest possible example for each date and mint combination. It is this competitive demand that pushes auction prices from $5,000 up to $39,000, especially for the top 1 or 2 coins on the population chart. Apart from condition rarity, era varieties can make the 1970 quarter a stunning discovery piece. Look for signs of doubled die obverses, where the words Liberty or In God We Trust appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die creation process, although not as well known as the 1972 or 1969 is doubled die cents. DDO errors on 1970 quarters are still valuable and sought after. There are also striking errors such as off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks, which can raise the value considerably depending on their severity and clarity. Of even greater value are wrong planchet strikes. For instance, if a 1970 quarter was struck on a planchet meant for a dime or a foreign coin, it would be lighter, have incomplete details, or a wrong diameter. These types of errors are extremely rare but can command values well beyond $10,000, and in spectacular cases, like the famous 1970 quarter on a Canadian silver blank, up to $39,000 or more, especially when professionally authenticated. The historical context of the 1970 quarter adds another layer to its significance. The early 1970s marked a period of change and uncertainty in American society. The Vietnam War was nearing its final years, the environmental movement was gaining momentum, and inflation began affecting the everyday value of U.S. currency. Coins from this era reflect a nation in transition, and the fact that the U.S. had fully moved away from silver coinage by this point makes clad coins like the 1970 quarter an important marker in the evolution of U.S. coinage, while earlier quarters were minted in 90% silver up to 1964, and in 40% silver for select special strikes afterward. The 1970 quarter was struck using a copper-nickel clad composition, measured by the U.S. Mint. Yet in rare cases, leftover silver planchets from previous years were mistakenly used to strike new coins, creating the ultra-valuable silver 1970 quarters that have become legendary among era collectors. The possibility of finding a coin that bridges to eras clad in silver makes this a must-check date for coin hunters. It's important to note that to achieve the maximum market value of up to $39,000, a 1970 no-mint mark quarter must meet strict criteria. It must either be a confirmed mint error of significant rarity, such as a wrong planchet or an extreme off-center strike, or it must be among the finest known examples, such as those graded MS-67 plus MS-68, or proof 67 and above in error or strikes. Collectors interested in verifying the authenticity and value of their 1970 quarter should submit it to top-tier grading services like PCGs or NGC, and if the coin is error-related, also consider certification by an AX which has deep expertise in mint errors, a grading label that confirms the coin's mint state, error type, and die variety if any. It gives it legitimacy in the market and dramatically increases its desirability and resale potential. Even for collectors who don't own one of the ultra or high-graded 1970 quarters, this coin offers a fascinating glimpse into how modern era U.S. coins can still deliver surprises, whether discovered in pocket change, inherited in a family collection, or cherry-picked from old rolls and mint sets. The 1970 quarter invites close inspection and inspires the thrill of the hunt. In today's numismatic market, where even the tiniest flaw or unusual characteristic can add zeros to a coin's value, the 1970 no-mint mark Washington quarter stands as a brilliant example of hidden treasure, a common coin turned collectible powerhouse. With rising interest in error coins, conditional rarities, and historical oddities, the value ceiling continues to climb, making this date a favorite target among both seasoned pros and enthusiastic beginners. In conclusion, the 1970 no-mint mark quarter is far from just another coin in your change jar. It is a hidden gem that, under the right circumstances, whether due to ultra-high grading, rare mint errors, or wrong planchet anomalies, can reach market values of up to $39,000, especially when authenticated and presented at a top auction. Its combination of historical significance, collector intrigue, and scarcity in elite condition positions it as one of the most exciting quarters of the 20th century, whether you're a serious collector, an aspiring numismatist, or just someone who loves the idea of discovering treasure in everyday currency. The 1970 quarter deserves your attention. In a world where most coins are spent and forgotten, this one proves that sometimes the greatest fortunes are hiding in plain sight right in the palm of your hand. Next up, the 1981D Washington quarter, bearing the D mint mark indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint, is one of those modern coins that many people may consider ordinary at first glance. But in the right condition and under extraordinary circumstances, this coin has stunned the numismatic world by reaching a jaw-dropping market value of up to $59,000. Minted in the heart of the Rocky Mountains during a time of economic tension and post-Vietnam transformation in the U.S., this coin serves as more than just a medium of exchange. It's a silent witness to American history in terms of design. The 1981D quarter continued the Washington Quarter series, first issued in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of Washington designed by John Flanagan, with the inscriptions "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date 1981, with the D mint mark just to the right. The reverse showcases a detailed, heraldic eagle standing on a bundle of arrows, with olive branches beneath, and inscriptions reading United States of America, E pluribus unum, and $quarter. On the surface, this coin seems like any other struck in the millions, but for collectors, the real value emerges when the coin is preserved in flawless condition or struck with rare and dramatic mint errors that elevate it to legendary status. In the numismatic market, the Denver Mint produced over 575 million quarters in 1981, making this a common coin in circulation, which ironically contributes to its value at the high end. Most examples were released into everyday use, experiencing scratches, wear, and the rough life of daily commerce. As a result, finding a 1981D quarter in pristine, untouched condition is incredibly rare. To achieve a five-figure valuation, the coin must be in mint state 68 or higher, with blazing original luster, pinpoint strike definition, and surfaces virtually free of contact marks, an extremely difficult combination to find. The professional coin grading service PCGs and the numismatic guarantee company NGC have graded thousands of 1981D quarters, but only a minuscule number have achieved MS68 or higher, making such coins top population examples and drawing fierce competition from registry set builders. Coins in MS67 typically sell for modest amounts, but the jump in value from MS67 to MS68 is astronomical. For example, a PCGS MS681981D quarter has reached prices in excess of $15,000, $30,000, and rare examples with ultra-deep luster, proof-like surfaces, or unique toning have the potential to reach $59,000 or more in private sales or high-profile auctions. The condition rarity were out of hundreds of millions struck. Perhaps only a dozen examples meet the highest grade standards, creates a perfect storm of supply and demand that fuels these dramatic valuations. But high grading isn't the only factor. One of the biggest contributors to the massive value of some 1981D quarters is the presence of minting errors and anomalies, especially when combined with mint state preservation. The early 1980s were a period of heavy demand for coinage, and the mint was under pressure to produce large quantities quickly, sometimes leading to errors slipping past quality control. These include dramatic varieties such as off-center strikes, where the coin design is partially missing due to misalignment in the striking process; broad strikes, which occur when the retaining collar malfunctions and allows the coin to expand beyond its normal diameter; and clipped planchets, where the coin appears to have a bite taken out of it due to overlapping blanks during the cutting process. There are also strikes on wrong planchettes, such as dime blanks or foreign coin blanks, which result in coins with incorrect weights and diameters, and these are among the most valuable. A 1981D quarter struck on a foreign or transitional planchet, especially in uncirculated condition, could easily command over $50,000, and with accompanying certification by PCGS or NGC confirming the error, the value can push toward $59,000. Another class of rarity includes doubled die obverse DDO or doubled die reverse DDR varieties, where doubling is visible in inscriptions or the date. These are highly sought after by error collectors and can significantly increase a coin's market appeal. Adding to the historical importance of the 1981D quarter is its place within the pre-statehood quarter era. Before the launch of the 50 state quarters program in 1999, the Washington quarter maintained a consistent design for decades. Collectors now view the 1981 issues as the last of the old-style quarters, since the modern commemorative coinage movement would soon transform the quarter into a canvas of state, territory, and national park designs. The 1981D quarter, therefore, represents the end of an era in American coinage, a fact that adds a layer of collectible interest beyond just grade and condition. From a cultural perspective, the early 1980s were a period of economic adjustment. inflation concerns, and a shifting political landscape. Coins from this period reflect the growing transition from traditional manufacturing to digital and technological innovation. As a result, modern-era coins like the 1981D quarter are gaining traction with younger collectors who recognize the connection between historical context and numismatic significance. What makes the 1981D quarter particularly thrilling for collectors is the element of discovery. Many of the rarest and most valuable examples weren't found in mint sets or proof issues. They were uncovered in old bankrolls, forgotten collections, or estate boxes, hiding in plain sight. The possibility that such a small and familiar coin could hold a hidden five-figure value is what continues to drive people to search, collect, and grade modern quarters with renewed interest. Whether it's a gem uncirculated coin pulled from a roll after 40 years, or an error coin mistakenly struck on a nickel planchette, these coins are out there waiting to be discovered. This has led to an uptick in submissions to grading services, and a growing market for error coins and modern conditional rarities, especially those from the 1980s and early 1990s. If you're in possession of a 1981D quarter, or if you find one with unusually sharp features and luster, the first step is to check for errors and inspect the coin's surfaces under a magnifying lens. If the coin appears flawless or shows signs of a striking error, the next step is professional grading. Submission to PCGs, NGC, or ANACS can determine its true grade and confirm any error classification, massively increasing the coin's marketability. Graded and slabbed coins carry more value not just because of the grade, but because they offer buyers confidence and authenticity, especially important in today's online marketplace. Coins that receive grades like MS67+, MS68, or include mint error designations can be sold at major auction houses or through high-end coin dealers for tens of thousands of dollars, often sparking bidding wars among serious collectors and registry competitors. In conclusion, the 1981D Washington quarter may have started life as just another everyday coin struck in massive quantities for daily transactions, but today it holds the potential to become a $59,000 numismatic treasure. Thanks to its rarity in top mint state grades, its potential for striking and planchette errors, and its place in the final decade of traditional quarter designs, this coin commands attention in a way few modern coins can. Whether you're a collector, a casual enthusiast, or someone exploring coins in old change jars and bankrolls, keep a close eye on your 1981D quarters. Under the right conditions, you may be holding one of the most valuable and astonishing modern coins in your collection, proof that even the smallest pieces of metal can carry monumental worth when history, rarity, and condition align. And with coin markets more energized than ever, this Denver minted quarter stands proudly as a symbol of hidden fortune, quietly waiting to surprise the world once again.